IOL PowerPoint presentation for environmental education EE22. Tutor details Hannelie Saunderson. Contact details 081 243 6470. Email address hanneliesaunderson@gmail.com. Contact hours 18 hours, between 18 hours and 20 hours. Good day, students. My name is Hannelie Saunderson, tutor for Environmental Studies, Year 2, Semester 2. Please note that this presentation is for all three examinations, April, August, and November 2022. Please use your time wisely to summarize topics. Work together with other students and work out old question papers way before the examination. Don't hesitate to contact me for any queries, but please well in advance. So without further ado, let's start with the units. Unit 1, Immediate Family. It consists of your parents, siblings, brothers and sisters, and children. A basic family usually consists of two married people, a man and a woman, and their offspring. This is known specifically as a nuclear family, and it is believed as the oldest type of families in existence. Extended family. It is an expansion of the immediate or nuclear family, the parents and dependent children. Namibian families. The different roles of family members. How the roles complement each other. How the roles of women and men are changing. What is the subordinate position of women in education and decision making? What is done to improve women's roles in society? Gender roles of families in Namibia. In society, the family is the basic unit of production. Duties are divided between the husband, wife, and siblings based on what they can do and achieve in a typical household. Social groups and social activities. A social group is any set of human beings who either are or recently have been in some kind of interrelation. The term group or social group has been used to designate many kinds of aggregations of humans. Secondary group and primary group. Culture. You need to define culture. How many cultures and traditions can we find in Namibia? Historical places like Kolmanskop, Luderitz, and Keetmanshoop. Historical persons. A historical person or figure is a person who has made a history line or made an impact in the history of a country or an event that took place. For example, Hendrik Witbooi and Sam Nujoma. The Namibian anthem. The name of the anthem is Land of the Brave, and it was composed and written by Agali Doisep. The Namibian flag. The Namibian flag is a symbol of struggle for national unity. It has different colors and it symbolizes peace, unity, and loyalty. Traditional leaders. What are the official functions and duties of a traditional leader? And what are the problems with decision making of traditional leaders? Chapter 3, Namibian Infrastructure and Communication. Towns in Namibia. Places in Namibia that is governed by a municipality are cities, and a town is governed by a town council. There are advantages and disadvantages in towns in Namibia. Communication. There are different ways to communicate in the regions. Different languages are spoken. Transport. The different means of transport in Namibia, like roads, public transport, railroad, airports and harbors. Chapter 4, Economic, Civic and Geographical Features of Namibia. Entrepreneurship. It is the capacity and willingness to develop, organize, and manage a business venture along with risks in order to make a profit. The most obvious example is to start a new business. Small business. A small business requires skilled management to become successful. It is also made up of components. The differences between entrepreneurs and small businesses. Components of a small business, the craft and factory products, mining activities, and farming activities. Factories and products in Namibia. Namibia imports most of its products from South Africa. Namibia is generally considered as a mining, agricultural, or tourism-based country. However, more factories and their products are on the rise in Namibia. Regional Council. Namibia has 13 regions and therefore has 13 regional councils. Different functions of the regional councils, for example, community development and early childhood development, primary health care, etc. Social services in towns. A pension to senior citizens, etc. Equal opportunities for men and women, health and education services, reasonable access to public facilities and services. Natural landscapes. Namibia is divided into 4 distinct topographical regions, like mountains, Fish River Canyon, rivers, and the coast. Weather patterns in Namibia. Spring between September and October. Summer from November to March. Autumn from April to May. Winter from June to August. Vegetation and animal life. Animal life. Namibia has a rich and varied wildlife with more than 140 mammal species and 620 bird species. Vegetation. Namibia can proudly claim fame to being the first country in the world to include provisions for the protection, conservation, and sustainable utilization of the environment in its constitution. Unplanned urbanization. identified as a health hazard, spreading serious diseases stem from environmental problems such as contaminated water, poor sanitation, smoke polluted indoor air, exposure to mosquitoes, along with other examples like crowded living conditions. Chapter 5, Health and Nutrition. It explained the health and nutrition issues that one have to deal with in everyday life. Attend to different practical ways of precautions when tending to wounds. The most important thing to remember is your own safety. Healthy hygiene habits should be practiced daily. Personal cleanliness is important for health and social reasons. Healthy habits is instilled in childhood and often follow children into their adulthood. Lead a healthy lifestyle to prevent infectious diseases. Make a few changes in your lifestyle which can lead to a healthier lifestyle. Say no to people and things. Saying no makes us feeling selfish, guilty, or even embarrassed. We don't want to upset people, or we don't want them to think badly of us. So it's easier to say yes than to deal with our anxiety or other people's reactions. However, there are a lot of benefits to say no. How to behave towards people with HIV and AIDS. You need to know all the people who are living with HIV to help them to humanize the disease. Skeleton and muscles. What are the functions of the skeleton and what are the functions of the muscles? Digestive system. Movement of food through the digestive system. The stomach has 3 mechanical tasks. Number 1, it stores the swallowed food and liquid. Number 2, it mixes the food. Number 3, it empties its contents slowly into the small intestine. Main food groups. Grains, they are also known as carbohydrates, vegetables and fruit, meat and beans, milk and oils. Healthy diet. Healthy eating habits isn't as confusing or as restrictive as many people imagine. Following basic guidelines are what you need to construct a healthy diet. Obesity, it is a medical condition in which an excessive amount of fat is stored in the body. It is very dangerous to your health. It has been associated with many other illnesses, which is a cause or a trigger for worsening symptoms. Possible factors that might cause a person to be obese. Genetics, certain types of medicine, psychological factors, certain illnesses like Cushing's disease, an endocrine gland disorder, environmental factors, and your family lifestyle. Chapter 6, Plants, Living and Non-Living Things. The characteristics of living things. Examples of non-living things like light, water, soil, air, temperature, and minerals. Trees, bushes, and grass in different regions. The regions or biomes, the climate of a place, influence the types of plants and animals that can live there. Namibia could be divided into a number of regions with climates suitable for the survival of certain plants and animals. These are called biomes. Each part of Namibia includes one or more biomes. There are 5 different biomes in Namibia: the Namib Desert biome, the arid zone, the winter rainfall area, the woodland savanna, and the grassland savanna. Plants as part of the food chain. The 3 trophic levels are producers, consumers, and decomposers. How seeds germinate and spread. To understand how seeds germinate, you need to know where a seed comes from. The Welwitschia plant, it is a very special and unique and one-of-a-kind plant. It grows in the Namib Desert and nowhere else on earth. External parts and functions of a plant. Plants can reproduce and secure their own survival. Plants consist of 4 basic parts: the roots, the stem, the leaf, and the flower. Chapter 7, Insects and Animals. The role birds and insects play in the food chain. Birds. The seed dissemination, the predator, the prey, the pollination, disease dissemination, and birds as part of the human ecosystem. Insects, they are everywhere on the earth. It has an absolutely fascinating history. It changes our lives and it influences the food chain. Without insects, our lives would be very different. Insects are valuable to the food chain in many ways. Insects change our lives and influence the food chain, like pollination, feeding, predatory or parasitic, decomposers, and prey. Food and other products from farm animals like sheep, meat, dairy products, wool, science and medicine, landscape management. Pigs. Pigs are one of the oldest forms of livestock. Their omnivorous nature enables them to eat human rubbish, keeping settlements clean. Pigs were mostly used for food, but people used their hides for many other products. Products are the pork and the pork skin. Cattle, they supply meat and dairy products. The byproducts from cattle are the brain, blood, hooves or horns, bones, internal organs, hair, milk, skin, manure, and fat. Fish, physical features of fish. What is the size of the fish, the body shape, coloration, fins, the head, scales, mucus, and the feeding habits. Reptiles, physical features of a reptile, the reptile's body, and the feeding habits. Features and characteristics of the oryx. The oryx is one of 4 large antelope species of the genus Oryx. The oryx is found in wooded grasslands as well as in wetter grasslands. They have different features and characteristics, and they adapt perfectly in the Kalahari. The reproduction. Oryx are polygynous. Their behavior. Oryx are gregarious and nomadic in nature. Their food habits, they will duck up to a meter to find tubers and roots. Predation threats to the oryx are lions, cheetahs, leopards, and spotted hyenas. Hunting dogs will also attack them. Ecosystem roles. They exploit areas that few other animals can inhabit. They tend not to interact with many other species because they are nomadic and they tend not to overgraze areas. Prehistoric animals, the coelacanth, birds and mammals, reproduction of birds and mammals, the birds, the mammals, and internal fertilization. Taking care of their young. Parental care, birds and mammals look after their young for long periods of time. Precocial, when young are relatively mature and mobile from the moment they are born or hatch. Altricial development, when young cannot move by themselves and do not have any hair or feathers and had to be looked after by their adults. Chapter 8, Science and Geography. Characteristics of non-living things. They lack or has stopped displaying the characteristics of growth, reproduction, respiration, metabolism, and movement. Suitable materials for particular purposes like cotton, steel, jute, medicine, and plastic. Various components of soil. The soil and water, the soil and air, soil acidity, and the caring for the soil. Characteristics of light, luminous intensity, translucent, transparent, refraction, composition of light, waves, and the speed of light. Characteristics of sound. The pitch. It is the frequency of sound as perceived by the human ear. The tone or quality. It is a pure tone. A pure tone is the sound of only one frequency. Loudness is a physiological characteristics of sound. Pitch is the frequency of sound as perceived by the human ear. Tone or quality, a pure tone is the sound of only one frequency. Loudness is a physiological sensation. Speed of sound depends upon the density and temperature of the medium. Protect the environment. Because our planet is changing, we need to help it change for the better. A lot of things affect our planet in a bad way, but we can help to reduce it. and do our best for improving our environment. The following are important ways in which people can help to save the environment: electricity, pollution, food, water, rubbish, rainforest, or deforestation. Students, this is the end of the presentation. Please note that this presentation is for both PPDE and JPDE students. There will be a choice question where you should choose only one of the two. If you're not familiar with a certain topic, it will definitely meant for the other group. In conclusion, please contact or SMS me between 1800 and 2000 hours, or you can phone me at 081 243 6470 or email hanneliesaunderson@gmail.com. Thank you very much for your cooperation and good luck with your studies.